Welcome back, guys. Today I am setting up my spreadsheet for my class. I wanted to have you along for the ride, give you kind of a sneak peek, a little window into this spreadsheet I often talk about. It's powerful, it's big. We're not going over all the features, but you're going to see some of them. Come along for the ride. All right, guys, we are about to jump into the computer now, get this all set up. Here's what we're looking at. We're looking at the Gamification Control Center. This is what you'd get if you purchased it through my website. Lots of files here, but really we're going to concentrate here on the gamification database. These other ones are great for if you want to like share that data out on a website or just a link for students to have on your learning management system, you know, your Google Classroom, embedded on a website, your choice. But these are different like ways to display the data. Not required, don't need to do it. So we're not going to spend that time right now doing that. And what you're going to want to do is you're only going to have view-only access to this, so you're going to have to make a copy of it. And I do that so that no one by accident breaks the system, right? So you're just going to go File, Make Copy, and it'll do that. I've already done that, so boom. We have my copy right here. So looking at a copy, boom, you have lots of data, lots of things to look at. But really, this is just, I tried to like overbuild it and have it be agile, nimble for you guys. You can use this as little or as big as you want in your game. So this is just trying to walk through some of the rules, some of the things that you have, some of the hidden sheets, options. There's lots going on here. So there's a big walkthrough that can kind of take you through the overarching thing. There's a video feature walkthrough that kind of goes over like, you know, various components of it, like the control panel, setting up the roster, leaderboard, whatnot. I suggest you check those out individually. This is just sort of a quick flavor video for you to look at. So the first thing I would do when I create this is actually make a Google form. And the Google form is going to collect the data I need. And the first data I need is, if we look at this roster panel here, this is going to auto-populate like all my sheets, all the leaderboards, all these things. But I don't want to have to enter in every kid's name. You know, you got 100 students or whatever, 150 students, even 25 students. I don't want to take the time to put in their first and last names, their email address, and that kind of thing. This is what Google Forms is built for. So take the time, make a Google form that's going to collect this data for you. I would suggest when you create a form to check the box to say automatically collect emails. That's going to force them to log into your Google, your school's Google account, and thus, you know, a student's not going to mistype their email. It's going to automatically like grab their email. So I then sort that data, paste it in here, and boom, we're set up, and we can move on to sort of the next steps of creating our spreadsheet. So next steps is going to be like control panel and looking at the leaderboard in general. There's lots to look at, but this page is crucial, but at the same time, let the students fill in that data, and then all we're going to have to do is fill in this column here on the current guild. Once you do that, the spreadsheet will be functional and ready to go for the school year. So looked through the directions part, or this sort of front part, and there's just a lot of things to read and a lot of things to look over, but really we can skip ahead to this control panel section. This is where the meat of what you're doing is going to come into play. You're going to have lots of options here, and mainly the options are here in this option center, but there's some under the level center. So let's look at the option center. First one is average out houses. This is genius. Average out houses is going to let me, when I have, so a house is a period for me. Each period might have different number of students. I might have 19 in one, 17 in another, 25 in another. That would totally be unfair with this sort of quest-based learning where 25 kids are going to go on more quests, do more things. They're just automatically going to win the game, right? So I can say yes here. I can average out houses, which gives each house a ghost player, which is awesome. So you tell the kids, it's like an inspirational sort of moment. You tell the kids that that is the average of your specific house. So the better your house works together, the better your ghost players work. And it is awesome. It is a great speech to give to students. They really respond to it. Same with average out guilds. You might have guilds of 5 people in one, 4 people in another. Same thing, right? It averages it out. Then here, this is a kind of another interesting one here. This is levels. Do you want the level column to be blank? Do you want it to have just the number, like your level 1, or do you want it to have a title? So I have it for T for title. I like it to display some sort of name, but I kind of like the idea of them knowing what that rank is, because sometimes the kids haven't memorized your title, so they don't know if a sloth is better than like a neutron atom, like who knows. So what I do is, if you look here on this, I put a number in front of my title, so it says like 01 newbie, 02 initiate, right? So like the kids know, I know quickly, because I don't always have them memorized either. That works really well. The next one is set gold or even gold. So set means there's a column over here under your level structure. Do you want to give out gold when students level up? I think that that's a really good thing to do. It kind of encourages, again, moving up on the leaderboard. So that means set. You can set how much they make per level. So over here on the level control system, you can see that when they get to level 1, which minimum value to get to level 1 is 1,000 XP, they're going to get 25 gold in my game for that. But if you don't even want to mess with that, if you just want to say, hey, every time they level up, they get 100 points. You don't even have to fill in the 100. You can just say that it's even and then fill in this box here, and then whatever's there, it will populate for them. Here we have weighted categories. This is kind of a grade system thing that I came up with. Was what if you allowed the students to pick the percentages? So teacher, student, or no for total points. So you can go, if you're using the gradebook feature, I no longer use the gradebook feature because I'm doing standard-based grading, but if you're using the gradebook feature, this is a nice one because you can still do total points if you're that kind of guy that just collects points and you don't do the categories. If you do the categories, you can have them be teacher weighted, 20% of this, 20% of that, 10% this, or you can even have it student selected, and where each student could have their own individual combination of weighted grades. So like if they know that they're a diligent student and they're not going to miss any homework and they're going to do it all and they're going to do it well, they could set homework, for example, at a higher level, and then they could set their quizzes like at a lower level, whatever. It's a neat feature. Check it out. Current grading period. This is for some of the micro leaderboards. I needed to know when you ended a period, or for those of you using the gradebook, you need to know. So that uses this feature down here. You have to kind of mark the cells that start and end that gradebook period, and that's on the leaderboard. So if you click the leaderboard, and it'll load up here. And so, I would be starting on AP, column AP, and let's say the end of the quarter was right here, AW. I would just set that. I'd go back here and set that AW was the end of quarter 1 or grade period 1. It helps, like I said, with some of your marker leaderboards. And then here, I would just start at the next cell over and continue. And then guilds, you have some guild options here. So do you want to reset your guild points, or reset your house, sorry. Reset your house points at quarter end. So yes. Do you want to reset the XP, yes or no? Do you want to reset levels? So these are kind of neat, powerful features where you could have their levels continue to grow, but the charts would show like a zeroed out per quarter, which is kind of cool. So that's a feature you can check out and play with. Then here, another powerful feature we have is once picture, that the house names are in there. A lot of times in my game, I don't like to take away points or penalize a student really for, I don't know, I'm not into the punitive sort of side of gamification. Some people really like that. I'm not into that. I don't dig that. Kind of weirds me out. So this is nice. I can just add or subtract points to the total house, or same thing down here to guild. And it works out really nice. So, if the whole class is being crazy, I can just say like, oh, guys, man, we really missed the mark, and I'm gonna have to take away some points. But it doesn't take it away from any individual student. So you'll see that the raw score here is the actual sum total of all their students' grades, but or not grades, all their students' XP. But then it minuses or adds the points that are in this column, and that gets your adjusted score. And the adjusted score is the one that you see on the leaderboard, the ones that have the graphs for it and all these other things. That's what they're seeing. They're seeing the adjusted score. And we can do the same thing here for guilds. And then if we hop over here, the one last thing here on the level center that we're going to see that you can mess with if you want is kind of the minimum value required to become this sort of title or this level. So, and you'll see on mine, I actually make mine get progressively harder as the game gets on. It becomes a wider and wider gap. So you can even see that from here, 0 to step 1 is 1,000. Then it becomes 1,100, right? Then it becomes 3,300. And you can mess with it. And some of my jumps aren't as linear like that. Some of them have a wider jump. Some of them have a wider jump in payout. I mean, you can see here, like when you make 25 gold, 25 gold, 50 gold, 100 gold. But then all of a sudden, boom, like 1,000 gold for reaching level 9. Those are just some fun, like little surprises for kids. They get really jazzed up. It sort of re-energizes for the game because all of a sudden they got this influx of cash. Think about it. It works really well. These are some of your initial game choices, but again, you don't have to do all of these game choices. You really, really don't have to do them all. So, pick and choose. Some of these things you might not care about at first. You might not even be playing with gold. If that's the case, you can go on this leaderboard and just hide the columns you're not using. Or when you go to the extra sheets that you can share out, same thing. You just hide the columns you're not really using. All right, guys, we have looked at our control panel, set that all up, and now what I want to do is show you how this sheet's kind of the genius of it and how you're going to just use this on a daily basis, and it won't be that hard once you got that setup taken care of. Here you have we're looking at my control panel leaderboard sheet here, and I have avatar, first name, last name. That's all going to get auto-populated, right? You're not going to have to do it at all. And then we have a bunch of other things that get auto-populated and decided, like what rank the student is, their XP points, the total possible XP points. There's a lot of video games that show yes, you've collected 200 stars, but there was a possibility of 300 stars out there. It kind of encourages the explorer so that explorer wants to go out and learn and figure out ooh, what did I miss? There's stuff out there, I want to get it. Then we have the sort of level column that's automatically get populated. Points to the next level. This is a great indicator for the students, also for you, because you can add sort of encouraging words to that student, like, hey, oh my gosh, you are only 50 points away from the next level. That would be awesome. The gold they have, the house or class they're in, the group or guild they're in, then about the percentage of possible points that they have earned. This is a bonus point column. What this does is it does not add to the possible points. So if you added something more like extra credit in your game and you don't want to denote that others could have got it because it was really special, that's how I use that one. And then boom, column AP is your first actual task, challenge, assignment, however you're choosing to gamify your class. So you sort of do task type. This is, if you're using the grade book, this is where this really matters, because you can kind of mark things like H for homework, Q for quiz. You can structure that. That's over here on the control panel here. So the ways, the categories you wanna use, right? So looking back on here, I don't use this for the grade book anymore, so I don't really use that feature. But here you can set a title for it. You can say what it is. You can say first day challenge, right? First day challenge. Then in this column, you sort of put the possible points. So let's say I say the first day challenge is worth 500 XP. Then, pretend I have all my students in here and stuff, right? I can just fly down this column and sort of say 400, 400. And sometimes what I do is I actually take that first one. You can grab this corner square, and sometimes I drag it all the way down, right, for my students. And then if I feel like that's about the base average, but I just can fly in here and say this one got 500, this one got 500, this one 100, this one wasn't even here, right? Wasn't here, 100, 500, 300, right? And boom, I have upgraded my XP for that day, for that kids, for for that particular challenge. It's really that easy. And this thing's going to cut that data up. It's going to show micro leaderboards. It's going to show graphs of who's in the lead, and which guild, which person, right? All these various things. All I had to do was update that single column once I get this set up for the year. Really powerful. I think you should check it out. But if you're not going to use my sheet, which is totally fine, set up your own. But seriously, like over 1,000 hours went into this thing, trying to get it all just right. And again, kind of open so that it would work with any theme, any teacher. So I really tried to build this out for you guys, kind of overbuild it. But I hope you pick it up. It's on explorelikeapirate.com. Check it out. There's other tools on there too. Give them a shot. I hope the beginning part of your year goes well. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, whatnot. Share the joy. Bring the joy. Bring the passion. Till next time.